Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. I will share the worst financial mistakes players make in Reddit Online and what you can do to avoid them in today's video. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. First, wasting assets. Do not invest in wasting assets. A wasting asset is a financial term. It refers to assets that decrease in value over time. The value can mean many different things. It can be time spent or money made or other factors. So that puts this into perspective. Let's say that you buy new clothes in Reddit Online. These clothes are unique and will be on sale for a limited amount of time. So you decide to buy these clothes for, let's say, a price of $500. You love these clothes for the first few weeks, maybe even months, and wear them daily. But over time you will start to lose interest in it and start looking for new clothes. You decide to buy new clothes for another $500 and then you keep repeating this process. The clothes will decrease in value for you because new and more exciting items will get released to the game, which will make you lose interest in your other things. That does not apply to all players, of course, but a vast majority of players keep buying clothes to create various outfits for the characters. Therefore, if you want to save money, you should keep like 1 to 2 outfits and stay with them. Over time, you will get used to it, and you will not need to buy any new clothes. Let's take a few more examples. I see many players buying new horses in the game all the time. They have full stables of horses. Now, I understand if you want to buy horses because you like them, but you can still not neglect the fact that it is a massive waste of assets. There are many different horses in the game, but you do not need more than 1 to 2 horses to be successful. If you want an all-around horse and not spending gold on it, go for the Breton horse. If you're a collector and want a super fast horse, then go for the Black Arabian horse. Last but not least, guns. Guns are another waste of assets that many people make, including myself. Guns are cool, I can't deny that. But when it comes to being financially successful in the game, you should avoid buying most of them. There's not a significant difference between the top tier guns in the game, therefore the only guns you need are as follows. Evans Repeater, mid to long range rifle, best for hunting and such. Pump action shotgun, close range, all around gun, useful in all close quarter situations. Bolt action rifle, mid to long range, best for trader and legendary animals. Now, when you know the most common wasting assets, what should you invest in? Well, as I said in my previous video, invest in value, like roles, business upgrades and equipment that will pay off in the long run. Second, being a spendthrift. When you are a spendthrift, you spend money in a wasteful or careless way. You might think that this is the same thing as the first tip that I mentioned, but it isn't. The difference is that it is not about what you spend your money on, but how much you spend. For example, you could invest too much money into business upgrades and end up going bankrupt instead, since you cannot pay for the production costs. The way to solve this problem is by having a minimum threshold. A minimum threshold means that you do not spend over a specific limit. You always keep some money. This number can vary depending on a range of different factors, such as your activity level, assets, and even your motivation. But I recommend you to always strive to keep at least $1,000 if you're a new player. Then as you become an intermediate player, that number would be around $5,000. Then for the more experienced players, I recommend you to keep approximately $10,000. It will benefit you in many various ways. It will ensure you that you have enough money for the next upcoming DLC. But it will also make it possible for you to enjoy some of the finer things in life without having to feel guilty. So, let's say that you want to buy a new horse that costs $500. You are a relatively new player and have saved up $1,500. You can now afford this new horse without taking the risk of potentially going bankrupt. Last but not least, budgets. If you do not have a budget, then you are setting yourself up for failure. You need to have a budget to understand your income and expenses. A few things in the game cost a lot more than you think. Let me tell you what they are and how you can minimize these expenses. First, fast travel. You can spend up to $100 or more on fast traveling alone if you do not use it properly. For example, if you have a camp in Annesburg but you collect collectibles in Tumbleweed and do not think about changing your camp's location, you can expect a big waste of money. It can cost up to $12 per fast travel. This might not sound like a lot, but let me put this in perspective. You will need to do 4 resupplies and 4 material resupplies, while a full pile of 100 goods is being produced. That is 8 tours just to the camp, then you need 8 times back. I know that it might not cost more than a few dollars for a camp trip, but it will still be much money. It will be 16 times in total, 8 to camp and 8 to Tumbleweed. It also costs $9 to camp and $12 to Tumbleweed. All of it would land at the cost of about $168, which can be thousands of dollars over a few weeks. So the question is, how can you solve this problem? Well, I recommend that you fast travel since it will save you time, but keep in mind that everything costs, so make sure that you always set up the camp in your area. Next, ammo. Ammo can be costly, like explosive and express ammo. I do recommend that you use these ammo types, but only if you find it necessary, like if you need to deal with a griefer or a larger group of enemies. You could also craft ammo at your camp, but I do not find that necessary and more of an option. Last but not least, tonics. Tonics are one of the most expensive items in the game. You can easily spend hundreds of dollars on them. I also understand their higher price since they can be beneficial in many situations, especially during PvP. Therefore, I recommend that you create tonics instead of buying them. So, what should you include in your budget? Well, I recommend that you put all the income streams and expenses into that budget, and the hidden costs, even the smaller charges, such as the fast traveling and ammo, for a maximum chance of financial success. Here you can see one of the charts that I made, which works like a budget. Here you can see all the various income streams and costs. I've included all the information gathered, such as rank, tokens, money, and gold. All of these things play a role in maximizing your chances of success in the game. This chart was made out of my financial habits and not necessarily applied to all of you watching this video. If you are still interested in it, let me know down below in the comment section, and I can send it over to you by the preferred medium of communication. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, and even share this video with others. It would help me tremendously. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.